Let's go to Paul in Saddleworth.
Hi there, Daniel. My mum received a cold call off a solicitor's, and they've talked her into signing her house into a trust so that me and my brother can manage it if she ever becomes incapacitated.
I don't think solicitors are allowed to do cold calls. I may be wrong, but I don't think they are. Anyway, carry on.
Well, the solicitors have sort of sold it to her that she can have this trust and it will stop her house being used for any social care if she ever becomes in need of social care. She's 78 now. So the solicitor came round and he wrote up a lot of legal paperwork. I only found out about this the other day, and I've looked at the legal paperwork and it all looks above board and everything. And I said, have you given him any money? And she said, I had to give him £2,000 before he would give me the paperwork. So I started thinking it didn't sound right, and I've had a look for the solicitor's company because on his business card there's no email address and there's no website. And if you go on Google, his solicitors doesn't exist. But the gentleman himself does. He's not got any sort of legal. He doesn't look like he's got any legal qualifications or anything like that. And I'm wondering whether it's right or wrong, or am I being overprotective? Is what she's done right, you know? So I was just hoping somebody who knew a bit more about this sort of stuff could tell me whether my gut feeling is right.
Okay. You said that he gave your mother a card, and presumably...
The solicitor gave her a business card, yeah.
And presumably there's also an invoice with their business details on it?
I haven't
or
seen
some other
invoice.
Documentation. Does that card say the word solicitor on it?
No, it doesn't. It's just got a solicitor's company. I took a photograph of the card. I can't actually.
Right. Now, you say you've got a solicitor's company. Don't name them, please. But does the name of the company have the word solicitor in it? So
if you can bear with me, I can just have a quick look at the photograph.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep. While Paul's doing that, let me just read out a couple of texts. Tim asks, is it possible to run a longer legal quiz somewhere? Thank you, Tim. I have enough difficulty thinking of one question a week, to be frank. I'm not sure I could come up with any more. But yeah, I quite fancy myself as a quiz master. That could be my job if being a lawyer fails.
Hello?
Hello, Paul. Paul's back.
Yeah, it just says legal associates.
Legal associates. Okay. He's clearly not claiming to be a solicitor. Solicitor is a protected term, and claiming to be a solicitor, if you're not one, is a criminal offence.
Probably my wording was probably wrong, actually.
Legal associate is not a protected term, and any Tom, Dick or Harry can claim to be a legal associate. It's a meaningless phrase. So you're... this person who contacted your mother wasn't claiming to be a solicitor. He was just using a fairly meaningless phrase, as a result of which they haven't committed any criminal offence of claiming to be a solicitor when they're not one, which I think is part of what you were concerned about.
Okay.
What exactly is your concern? Is it that the trust documents won't be legally effective?
Yes. I was under the impression that you had to, if you were going to do anything like that, it had to be like a 7-year gap between signing something over. It just all seemed a bit wrong. To take £2,000 off somebody for the paperwork to say that me and my brother will be trustees if she ever becomes incapacitated. I was under the impression that if the council decided that you'd done something like that to try and avoid paying for things like social care, they could overturn it.
If the local authority thinks that you've put the home into a trust with the sole purpose of avoiding care fees, it's considered, the legal phrase is, a deprivation of assets, and that can lead to certain penalties, including treating your mum as if she still owns the assets and requiring her to pay for the care anyway. So it sounds like this. I'm going to use the phrase legal associate because that's the phrase they used. It sounds as though the legal associate may have deceived your mother I emphasise if he said that this would be legally valid. Now, if he said this is a controversial arrangement and it might work and it might not, your mum's not going to have any sort of claim. If he said it will work, then she will have a claim against him for misrepresentation. He misrepresented the legal position.
Right.
I'm sorry to ask this, Paul. I'm going to ask it very bluntly. Is your mum somebody who a judge would consider to be an articulate and reliable witness? Or is she someone who might come across as forgetful and not very sure?
No, she's quite sharp. She's 78, but she's quite sharp. And I didn't know she'd done any of this. I went up to visit her the other day, and she had all this paperwork on the side that she said I needed to sign. And I looked at it, and I thought, I don't know, it all just seemed a bit off.
All a bit dodgy. Well, it's all going to depend on what he said to her. If he said, because he clearly didn't say he was a solicitor. I accept you said that was just your words.
No, I think I just.
It's all going to depend on whether he said that this would work or whether it might work. If he said it might work, well, yes, it might, because the local authority might not challenge it. If you said it would work, that's misrepresentation, and she'd have a claim for the £2,000 back, Paul.